had beat me that I ended up having to get a restraining order against. If you haven't seen that, then this is probably not going to make that much sense to you. So what I'm going to do is give you a little bit of a summary, but I'll also link the video in the description below in case you guys are interested in checking it out. Basically, this whole summary of that video is that me and this girl, we were friends. We ended up going to LA and we were just doing this little girls trip or whatever. And then this guy from Instagram that me and Sabrina found while we were in high school, we thought he was so cute. I ended hitting him up and he was like, yo, like I live in Hollywood, let's hang out, let's chill or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So we ended up chilling with him this one night. He acted kind of weird, he acted kind of creepy, but we decided to give him another chance. And we also didn't really know anybody out there, so we thought, hey, let's just invite him to go out with us, which such a bad idea and I regret it every single day, but I mean, it happened. So we ended up hanging out with him. We went to a strip club and at one point we ended up leaving. They got in an argument, so she was just really uncomfortable around him, but she still thought it would be a good idea to leave me in a hotel room with him because she thought it was smart to just leave me there and go on a Tinder date and not answer her phone. And basically when I was left inside of that hotel room, he attempted to sexually assault me and all this stuff just happened, and it was just a really bad situation. Ended with him getting a restraining order, or me getting a restraining order against him, and he's not supposed to be anywhere around me. He's supposed to stay the fuck back. And he still would continue to send me emails. He would still make fake numbers on like those texting apps. Because you know, like, who's texting you from like 899 or like 813 like in California? Like these random numbers, so you know that it was made on one of those texting apps. So he would continue to try to contact me. He would pretend it wasn't him, and then I would end up figuring it out it was him. But I knew the way that this guy texted. I could read the way that, like, you know how you could just tell, like, if it's your friend texting you, even if it's from a new number, like, you just know who it is. So I knew that it was him, and he would keep trying to get in contact with me multiple times. I would block every single social media account he would make because he would continue to make new ones and keep trying to DM me, keep trying to contact me. And I'm not gonna delete Simply Vanessa 15 to get away from this person. Like, this is my life. Like I'm not gonna change it from, you know, all these different usernames. Like, at first it was Vanessa Gabriella M, so I decided to change it to Simply Vanessa 15 in an attempt to kind of like, you know, hide in a way, but he still found out because he knew that I did YouTube. So this guy would not leave me alone. He was not supposed to be anywhere near me or around me, and I would look out my window sometimes. This is when I lived in Hollywood. I would see him outside of my apartment. I'd be walking down Hollywood Boulevard. He would, what a coincidence, he would be right there just walking around by himself with his camcorder. He's a weird ass. I don't know why he does that. He literally walks around and records people. Like, I actually saw him doing this like a couple weeks ago as well. So he's just always around somehow, even though he's not supposed to be. This guy does not live in Hollywood. I ended up finding out that he doesn't even have an actual job. He's just kind of like a floater. He ends up in places. I asked his friend when I hung out with them, like, what does he do for work? And he's like, I don't know, dude. He just gets money and he floats around somehow. So this guy does not have like an actual home there that I knew of. So he was just in that area, like, because he wanted to be in that area. So this guy would always end up being where I was at, and for a while he disappeared and I didn't have to deal with him. Then a couple of months ago, everything started up again, so that's when we jump back into present time. So for a while I wasn't receiving any sort of emails, any text messages, any sort of weird DMs from him. I didn't receive anything, so I was like, okay, maybe he finally took the hint and he left me alone. But it's always something that's in my mind, and that's why I also moved away from Hollywood, because I just had to get out of there. Yes, there was creepy satanic activity going on in that apartment complex, but I also had to get out of there for my own safety. So I moved to the other side of the hill to get out of there and just completely out of Hollywood altogether. Now, I love to vlog on my channel, so of course if you watch my vlogs, then you'll probably get an idea of where I live. There's some people that would comment on my videos like, oh, I know where that store is at, or I've seen you driving your car, I know where that store is at, and I know where you live, and I know this area, and blah 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 blah. So it's not that difficult to figure out where my apartment was if you lived in LA, or if you lived in that part of LA, you would be able to, like, you know, add pieces up. Like, if I were in Arizona and I was watching an Arizona vlogger, I'd probably be able to figure out everything by like the streets and the area and all of that. So it wasn't that difficult if you actually knew the area to figure out where I was living, and that was my fault because I wasn't smart with the way I was vlogging. I should have started some of my videos a little bit later. Like, I shouldn't have been vlogging too much of the apartment. I shouldn't have been vlogging you know, minor details and walking out of my house and all that stuff, but that's my fault. I was really dumb with it. I didn't, you know, think too much. I just thought, oh, I'm gonna film and put this out for my, you know, my YouTube fam. And I wasn't even thinking like, oh, this dude can, you know, see this still. So I was going on with my life, not hearing anything from him or anything about him, carefree. Of course, he was still in the back of my mind at all times, but sometimes I would just forget and I would pull out the camera. So continuing, I would frequently go to the Americana or the Galleria Mall in Glendale because, I don't know, that mall was huge. It had a lot of stores in it, and I liked to go to the Americana just to walk around because it was similar to the Grove that was it in Beverly Hills or Hollywood? It was one of those areas, but multiple times I would see the creepy guy. We're gonna call him Tree. That's what we called him in the last video. Multiple times I would see Tree there, so I just did not want to go to that area at all. I would avoid it at all costs. At one point I didn't go there for months, and the only reason I did go there is because I was at Kelly's house and it was the closest thing to her house, and we didn't want to drive too far to go somewhere. So I avoided that area at all costs, and I would just go to the Americana because it was basically the exact same thing. Had the pretty fountain, had all the little stores, restaurants, a cute area just to like hang out with your friends. It had a movie theater. I'd hang around there, and I would of course vlog that area, so it was very obvious that I was there a lot. And a couple of times that I would be there, I would think that I saw him, and I wasn't sure like if I was just being paranoid, like, oh, like you're just, you know, overthinking things, and because you saw him at the other place, you assume or you think that you're seeing him at this place. So I would just kind of like brush it off. But then there was this one time where I was actually eating at Katsuya and I saw him walk by, and I was like, there is no way he's here. Like why is he here at the same time as me? And then there was another situation where I went to the In-N-Out over there, and I was standing in line. I wasn't getting anything because I don't really like In-N-Out anymore. I can't even remember who I went with, but to be honest, In-N-Out, like, it got old. Some of you probably just went like, like, bitch, that's good. Like, it's good, but it just got old. Being someone who ate there a lot, I'm over it. So one time I was at In-N-Out just waiting in line, minding my own business, and I turn and he walks outside of In-N-Out. Like, you don't live in this area, like, or maybe he moved there, I don't know. How convenient that he's there again at the exact same time as me. Like, really? So of course I like went and I hid in the corner, and I was like, yeah, let me just stand over here. I would be walking around the Galleria Mall and I would see him multiple times there as well. So I was like, great, now the guy's in my area, awesome. Then I didn't see him for a couple of months again, and then now we are a month ago in? Now we're a month. Does that make sense? So a couple of weeks ago. So I started hanging out in Hollywood a lot more because I became really good friends with Kelly Sweet. You may have seen her on YouTube or whatever. And I was hanging around in her area a lot, and I ended up telling her the story one day, and it's so creepy because the day that I told her the story, we were wrapping around Hollywood. I don't even remember where we were going. It was literally right there. Like, you guys, he was outside of the car, like dead ass. You can ask Kelly, you can go and tweet her, you can go and message her, she's not gonna lie. Like, you guys can go and ask her. Like, he was standing right there outside of the car with his camcorder being weird. Like, he literally goes around and just records people walking by. I don't know if he's doing it for a music video or if he's doing it just because, like, he never mentioned he was into photography. And also keep in mind, he was using an older camcorder. Like, it wasn't even like something professional. He was using like an old one, like the ones where you have to hold like this, and he would just record people. So this guy is just outside of the car, and I'm like, how convenient that I mention him and I put, you know, his name out into the atmosphere, and he's right there outside of the car. So multiple times after that, I would be hanging around in Hollywood, and again, he would all of a sudden be making appearances there again. So I'm like, there's no way that the city is that small. There's, what, 40 million people in California? Like, that place is populated. There's so many people, so many tourists. So how convenient that he stands out and he's always just right there. Whether I'm in Glendale or I'm in, you know, Hollywood, or I'm in Beverly Hills, or I'm here, like, how convenient that he's always there at the same time as me. Like, it's not a coincidence. So this guy, multiple times I'd be with Kelly, or I would be on my own going to Kelly's house, or I'd be with other people, and he would always be there on the same street as me walking. Or I would be going into the museums there, and he would be outside of the museums just chilling there. So I don't know, like, I don't think I have a tracker on my phone. Like, this guy was always ending up outside of where I was at, and it was just getting to the point of like really starting to scare me. So I'm not the kind of girl that likes to go clubbing. I'm not the kind of girl that likes to go to parties, to be honest. That was me like a year and a half ago, and it was fun. I got it out of my system, and I'm just waiting till I turn 21, and then I'm just gonna go to Las Vegas. I'm gonna go to the clubs. I'm gonna have fun with my friends. But in LA, I'm not really that kind of girl. Like, it's just not that fun to me, and everybody thinks they're all that, and they all think they're bougie, and they all think they're something, so they just stare at each other in the club, and it's just weird. Most of the people just sit there and look at you, and it's just uncomfortable. Like, I would rather go somewhere here in Arizona where everybody's having a good time and just dancing, instead of people just sitting there like judging each other's shoes, each other's outfits, like, why is she wearing that? Look at her shoes, she's so cheap, blah blah blah. Like who cares? Have a good time. I don't really enjoy going to these clubs and stuff, but I was like, you know what, let me give my new crowd, my new friends a chance, and let me go out with them. So because I had a good time the first time, I was like, you know what, let me give this crowd a chance, let me go again, let me go and turn up for a second time. And can you guess who was in the crowd standing right next to me? Can you take a wild guess? Literally, you guys. Okay, so I had the connects, Kelly had the connects, so we ended up in like the DJ booth. So like we were on top of the stage every single time. We weren't in the crowd or anything, hallelujah, because I would look out there and everybody was sweating. I went out there at one point and I met a couple of you guys at the club, hey, but I would go out there and you guys, it would just change, like the temperature, everyone is sweating, everybody stinks, like you could smell everybody's colognes and perfumes just evaporating in the air mixed with BO. So I was like, you know what, I'm not trying to go out there, it stinks out there, like I'm gonna stay on the stage. And tell me why I'm standing on the stage and I look over just to be nosy to see who's on the other side, because there was a booth right here. I'm talking about the club called Playhouse. So if you're on the stage, there's like a little section for people right underneath it. Tell me why I look over and he's standing right there looking up at the stage. Are you kidding me? So he sees me and I'm like, great, now what do? I had a whole new look on, I had a wig on, I had my bandana, I had a whole new look. I looked like a brand new bitch. So I was like, maybe he doesn't recognize me. I don't know, we'll see. So I go straight to Kelly and I'm like, Kelly, like, do we leave, do we stay? And she's like, I don't know, like we can leave if you want. Do you want us to tell security so we can get him kicked out? But I was like, I was scared because like I don't want to cause a scene, and I was around like, you know, a lot of, you know, people, and like for example, like there was T.I. up in there was people from Love and Hip Hop, there was all these like, you know, little celebrities around. So I was like, if I cause a scene right now, like I just don't want to cause a scene in front of these people right now. So I was like, you know what, let me just fall back, there's no way he's gonna get up here, so we're good, like I'll just stay up here, we don't gotta go down there. She's like, okay, but if you want us to leave or if you want anything, like if you want me to get security for you, I got you, girl. And I was like, thank you, I love you, we're good. So we're up there just like dancing a little bit, listening to the music, and about 30 minutes later, what do I see at the stairs? So to get up to the DJ section, you have to go up these stairs. There's a rope though, and there's a security guard. And who do I see at the bottom of the stairs? I see Tree. He's trying to get up to the VIP section. So I don't know what he did. Like I saw him there and then he disappeared for a minute. And then the next thing I know, he's standing in the VIP section a couple of feet away from me. He's standing on top of this chair and he's just staring down. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I turned my head the other way and I'm like, Kelly, now he's up here. Now what do we do? And she's like, do you, like I'm about to just go and get him kicked out. And at this point, ASAP Ferg was about to come on the stage to start performing. So everybody was kind of like all running around the place. Security was all over the place and they were trying to like figure out the situation. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do. Like I'm just like so afraid of causing a scene.
Also, please keep in mind that I was also not thinking that straight at the moment, so just keep that in mind. I know I'm such a fucking flop of a disappointment.
And like, I'd rather cause a scene on YouTube. Like I'm not the kind of person that wants to be in public and have all of the attention start shining on me, because if I tell the security guard that's my stalker, this is blah 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 restraining order, they're gonna start yelling at him, they're gonna start screaming at him, everybody's gonna be like, oh my gosh, and then the music's probably gonna get cut and all this stuff. Like I was just so nervous and I was thinking about all these things in my head that I just didn't want the situation to like blow up, you know? Like I don't know, I was just freaking out and I was kind of like frozen and I didn't really know what to say, just because like, just being around him and seeing him like gives me chills, and it makes me afraid, and it makes me feel very vulnerable and very small. Like I'm 5'8.5", but it makes me feel about 4'7". But just seeing him like freaks me out. So I was like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. So I kind of went and hid by like the DJ section where like all the smoke and the lights were going. So I was like, maybe he's not gonna see me over here. So I kind of hid over there, and I see him just looking around, and he's kind of like walking around searching, and then he gives up, he goes back down, and he's just like standing in the crowd looking up at the DJ section. Like he clearly looked like he was looking for somebody. So like I said, I went down there at some point because me and Kelly had to go to the bathroom. The only way to get to the bathroom was to go through the crowd to get to the back wall. That's considered the front. And in the process of going to the bathroom, I was like, I looked around first. I was like trying to make sure that he wasn't down there. I told her, I was like, we gotta move quick because if like we both have to pee really bad, and I'm not trying to, you know, bump into him, so let's just get through there very fast. But there's a lot of people down there, a lot of people turning up, a lot of drunk people, so you're trying to get through, and they're like, don't touch me, get off of me. And I'm just like, bitch, get out the way, I will pee on you. So I'm just trying to get through all these people, and I didn't see him, and then maybe like 2 minutes of being in the crowd, I turned around and he's right behind me staring me down. So at this point I was like, yeah, we gotta go. He saw me and he was like, oh, like he made that face, he was like he was gonna say something to me. So I was like, no, I gotta get out of here, because the first time he saw me, he acted really weird and he was trying to touch me and do all this stuff, and then the second time he didn't get his way, so he literally assaulted me. And I don't know what he's gonna do now, because I've been ignoring him and avoiding him and blocking him and all this stuff. Like I don't know, like I've seen the documentaries, I've seen the ID channel where, you know, the stalker will get ignored, and then the time they finally get their hands on that person, they go crazy. So I don't know what this guy's about to do. I don't know if he's about to like try something really scary. I mean, we're in public, but it is dark in there, the music is loud, so if he wanted to, he could punch me, he could do anything. Like I'm just not trying to have that. And I was also in heels, which is something very rare for me. I don't enjoy wearing heels. They make me uncomfortable, they make my feet hurt. So if he were to even go, whew, like I'm literally going to fall back and bust my head open. I was like, yeah, we gotta get out of here. So we ended up bouncing out of that area, out of that club, and then we ended up going and hanging out with other people. So now fast forwarding a couple of days later, me and Kelly continue to hang out at her apartment, and I don't know how he found out where she lived. I don't know how he found out any of this. But you guys, like, I kid you not, every time I would pull up, I would always park in the underground, like, covered parking section, and I kid you not, like, it just, like, it creeps me out just to say this or just to even think it, but I kid you not, multiple times after that, I would be pulling my car in there and he would be waiting by the garage. Like, he would be waiting just outside of there, just like sitting against the wall, just waiting. So some of you may be like, Vanessa, then why didn't you just call the police? Why didn't you just do that? I did, you guys. I literally have called the police. I have talked to so many people, but I get the same answer every time. You don't live there, so he has as much right as you do to be in that location at that time. So just get out of there, just leave if you don't feel safe. So basically, like I said, if I wanted to go over to Kelly's house, I had no choice but to deal with him being in that, you know, area, because like I don't own it. It's not my house, it's not my building. I can't just have him removed. And that's literally what they told me. I don't even know if that's the truth or not, but that's what I was told. So he clearly found out where Kelly lived, and I was there every single day. So I don't know if he was like, oh, this is gonna be her pattern, she's gonna be here all the time, so I'm gonna finally be able to talk to her. But I ended up, you know, going into this garage, and multiple times I would see him just like sitting out there, just against the wall, just waiting, like looking like he was looking for somebody. And I'm like, there's no way. Like I don't know. Like I know there's coincidences. And I know there's gonna be some people like, Vanessa, stop thinking everything's about you. Like he's not only there for you. This guy probably has a life. He's doing him. He's doing this. But if you dealt with him, then you would understand where I'm coming from. Like after that night of him doing all that stuff, he literally would look for me, you guys. Like he should not have been waiting outside of my apartment, but he's literally waiting outside of my apartment complex. And I would have to tell security, like, hey, can you get that guy away from here? Like, he's not supposed to be around there. And they're like, yeah, sure. So they'd go out there and they'd be like, hey, dude, like, why are you waiting outside the building? Move. And he's like, because I can, because I can. And they're like, okay, would you like us to call the police? And he would dash. So there would be, you know, multiple situations of him just waiting outside of my apartment. And I would always vlog and I would always like Snapchat outside of my window. And then you would be able to see where my window faced because I'm a fucking idiot. You would just be able to see where the area was, and he would always be outside of that window just waiting there. And then he would always be there on Hollywood Boulevard at the exact same time as me. That's why I would always have to wear wigs, because I didn't want to be noticed. And also, in case someone tries to grab me, the wig will fly off and I will run. Like, you don't actually have a hold of me. Like, there would always be that strange interaction, and he would always be at the exact same time. And how convenient that he would be there at the Americana at the same time, the Grove at the same time, the Glendale Galleria at the same time. Like, I lived in the same apartment complex as multiple social influencers, and I would never run into them. So I'm like, how convenient that I'm never running into these people or in any other area, but somebody who is, you know, I have a restraining order against that, continue to contact me and try to find me is in all of these locations. Like, it's not a coincidence at this point. So he would literally, like I said, be waiting outside of the parking garage that I would be going into to park my car when I would go and visit and hang out with Kelly. So I was like, you know what, I've kind of had enough of this. This is getting really creepy again. I need, like, I can't be coming over here anymore. So for a while I would just lock myself in my room, and I was just like, I'm scared to leave my house. Like, I don't know, like, I'm just, because of what he did the first time. When I tell you guys how scary of a situation, I've been through worse than that, but when I tell you how scary of a situation it was, like, it was very, very scary to me. Like, and especially that my friend left me in there by myself with this guy, knowing that he already tried to freaking, like, I don't even know why we hung out with him again. We just didn't have anybody else to hang out with, and we thought it'd be cool just to give him another chance, but he was already acting sketchy the first time. He made us drinks the day that we met him, and we didn't want to drink them because he was acting weird. He was kind of like covering up when he was making them, and you just don't know if someone's gonna drug you, if they're gonna slip something in your drink. And because we didn't want to drink them, he got very offended and he was forceful, and he's like, just drink it, come on, just drink the drink. Like, he was already sketchy from the get-go. I'm not sure why we gave him another chance, but we did, and then she decided to leave me in there with him, and then he did what he did. So everything that, you know, he did that night and the night before, it just like kind of like scarred me in a way that I was just kind of like scared. Like, at this point I was like, yeah, I feel like it's gonna happen again, because at first it was like, oh, I didn't see him for a while, but now I'm starting to see him everywhere I go, and it's not like I'm looking for him. Say you just got a new Kia Optima, you're gonna see a lot more Kia Optimas on the road, like, than usual. Like, of course they've always been there, but because like you just got that car, you're like, oh, like, a lot of people have the same car as me. They've always been there, but now you're noticing more. So it wasn't like that for me. I wasn't looking for him. It was just, I wouldn't even be thinking about him, and he would just pop up every single time. And now it was getting to the point of him being everywhere that I was going. So I don't know if he was very closely watching my social media from another account, because my Snapchat was public. Anybody could see where I was going. Anybody could see my snaps. Anyone can see anything. So I got to the point of being scared to even leave my house, because I knew what he did the first time, and it did definitely leave a scar on my mind and in my life that I just didn't want to go through it again. And like, you guys, I go through a lot of really scary stuff, and I don't know if it's just something that is in my timeline, like I'm meant to go through all this stuff for a reason, but I go through a lot of really bad and scary situations. So I was just like, I just really don't want another situation, because I feel like if it happens again, I'm gonna lose my mind, and I'm going to actually end up in a mental ward. Like, I'm going to have a mental breakdown if something else happens, because like everything just building up. Like, the past year of my life has not been the best year, you guys. Like, I've had worse, but mentally it has not been the best. Like, in December I had a freaking mental breakdown, and like everything just started to weigh down on me. So I'm really like, I'm not trying to go through all of that again. So it got to the point of, like I said, me staying in my home all the time. And then I was like, you know what, I can't do this to myself. I can't hide myself away. I have to go out there. I have to do things. I gotta have fun. I gotta live my life. I'm 20 years old. Like, you can't live in fear. I love how my shirt just kind of like matches the theme of this video. Like, having to be on guard at all times, like, that's not a fun life to live. You want to live carefree. You want to have a good time. You want to chill. You don't want to have to worry about someone always being there lurking, So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get out of LA. I'm kind of sick of this. Like, everything else was already giving me a reason to get out of there, but now I'm really going to get out of here, and I'm just gonna move. So it was the final straw. Like I said, I already had other reasons to get out, but now this was the final straw as to why I had to leave. So that is kind of why I left in a rush, you guys. I packed a bag, I broke my lease. Yes, James is gonna be fine. He's gonna have a place to stay. No, he's not moving with me to Arizona. But we broke the lease that day. I let him know. He's like, okay, cool. I'll be fine. What day do I have till? Let him know. Everything is okay. I packed a suitcase, put the cats in their cat carriers, put Penny in the back seat, and I took off to Arizona. Like I said, you guys, like, it's not fun to live your life in fear. It's not fun to always want, or to always have to be on guard and always feel like someone is just there lurking and someone is always just watching you. And this guy's creepy, you guys. Like, when he looks at you, he looks at you with anger. Like, when he looked at me in the club, like he was gonna say something to me. It wasn't a like, oh, hey, friend. It was more of like, oh, there you are, finally. I had to get out of there, you guys. I had to bounce. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, have to be on guard at all times. So I'd rather just move back home. I have friends here. I have more friends here that actually care about me and actually, you know, want to hang out and, you know, not leech and not, you know, be like, hey, like, I just wanted to know if we could collab and do this and blah, 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 and then never talk to me again. It probably sounds so dumb, like, trying to use you for social media, but that's how a lot of people are. Like, they will literally pretend to care for you. They will pretend to be your friend. They will pretend this and pretend that for clout because they want followers, because they know that if they make a video with you and then they put your name in it, more people are gonna watch it. So in return, they're gonna make more money and blah, 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 this and that. And it sounds so stupid, and I'm not trying to make myself sound like I'm this big person, but at the end of the day, like, it's gonna get more views if you collab with someone. So I was like, you know what, I'm over this. This is the final straw. Like, I'm out of here. It became a reoccurring thing. It wasn't like, oh, I saw him on Monday and then I saw him like 3 weeks later. No, I was seeing him Monday and then Wednesday and then I saw him Thursday and then Sunday. That is basically the reason why I left LA. That is why I left in such a hurry, because not only was everything else starting to weigh down on me, but this was starting again, and I really don't care to live my life in fear. And there are so many clubs in LA, you guys. There's so many clubs that you can be at. How convenient that he's at these ones. How convenient that he's at the mall at the same time as me. He's at the Americana at the same time as me. I go here to eat. He's outside of it. Like, I don't know if there's a tracker on my phone, or maybe I'm just sharing too much on Snapchat. But if you notice, that's why I don't put too much on Snapchat anymore. That's why I don't use Snapchat as much. I'll use it if I'm in a place, but like I said, I don't really use it too much. Like, I use it to like promote a video or something, but I'm sure you guys have noticed, and I'm sorry if it annoyed you, like, swipe up, swipe up, swipe up. But I'm just kind of like trying to be safe, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't share too much on there because of these situations. I thought I would share it with you guys because a lot of you were asking me, like, how did you manage to just like bounce in a day and then find a new place instantly and do all this stuff so quick? Because you guys, I am determined and I was ready to just get out. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Ooh. Hey, you guys, if it's not police or ambulances or fire trucks, it's jets, it's the military. Please be careful, you guys. Please be safe. Please don't put yourself in dumb situations. If you know that it's not safe, if you have a bad feeling, get out of there. It's because your friends are like, no, just stay, or come on, let's just go. If you know morally, if you know that you should not be doing that, if you should not be there, do not be there. Because I knew for a fact, I told her, I said he would not leave us alone that night in the hotel. He would not like leave. And she was like, just let him come up to the room, just come on, just let him come up. And I was like, no. I was already sketched out, and I already did not like the idea of, you know, being in a room with him. And she didn't tell me that she was gonna leave me there. She did not once tell me like, yeah, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna ditch you, and you're gonna stay up there with him. She never told me that. She's just like, okay, let's go up there. And I'm like, so we're both gonna just hang out with him there? And she's like, yeah, we'll both hang out with him. I go up there, she bounces. Yeah, just be careful, you guys, because I care for all of you. And if you're dealing with something like this, please stay strong and don't let it discourage you, because I let it discourage me, and at some points I didn't even want to leave my house. I missed out on a lot of opportunities because I was afraid to leave my house, and you just can't let other people run your life. So I was like, you know what, let me move. Let me go be happy, be comfortable, and I've been extremely happy since I've moved back. No issues, no problems. It's like I feel like a brand new person every time I come here. I feel like a sense of relief, a sense of happiness and safety. So maybe because I'm with my family and friends, or maybe because I'm just away from all that toxicity. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something from this. Just be careful, and I guess I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Work. See me happy work. You see me do me dirt. So me better work. When you walk a